Hello, it's Amy again. I just wanted to do a couple of quick updates on things I'm working on. I'm currently in a chainmail phase. I finished my snake weave or round weave bracelet, and I put on it my handmade toggle clasp that I made a few months ago. So it has a handmade, hand-forged toggle clasp. And as you can see, there's a couple kinks in it because this particular weave is really, there's an outer ring and an inner ring, and it's really difficult to get. There's so many interwoven rings, it's really hard to just take up. If you take one apart, the whole thing gets messed up. So normally this would be at least 30. I'm going to sell it for 25. And as you can see, this is made for a man actually, because it's 8 inches. The weave part is 8 inches. And then with the toggle, it's 11. So it's quite large. It's made mainly for a man. And as I said, yes, there are a couple imperfections in it, but all in all, it didn't turn out half bad for my first attempt at this weave. And this is what it looks like when it's closed. And again, I made this toggle by hand. This was not store-bought. No. There's that. Then I'm working on something called inverted round mail, which I like a lot better than the weave I just showed you because it's a lot simpler and I think it's a lot prettier. I'm making this one out of all silver, and let me put it against my arm so you can see it with a color. You can see how that looks. It's a lot easier. It's just, instead of an inner and outer, it's just 3 rings, 3 rings, 3 rings, 3 rings. It goes really fast, and I just love the way it looks. It looks almost like lace or something. I'm not sure if this one's going to be for a woman or a man because it's thinner than the other one, but I'm not sure yet. I have to see. Because if it's for a woman, I make it about 7 inches, this part. And if it's for a man, I make it at least 8. So I haven't decided that yet. I also found an alternate way for starting that. Instead of doing it on a pen cap, it says you're supposed to put the first 3 rings on a pen cap and build it off of a pen. Or a pen cap. That doesn't work for me because the tape comes off and it just drives me crazy. So I devised a way that works for me. I put my first 3 rings on paper clips, and then I clip the paper clips together. So there you have it, and that's what I'm working on right now. I also have to do some surveys. I worked on learning CSS, cascading style sheets, last night. And as a result, I am typing in the commands. I'm learning the syntax, having been a programmer for 7 years in the 80s and 90s. I get programming, so even though I never dealt with HTML or CSS or any of this other, they start showing me, the instructors flying through this really fast. It's supposed to be for beginners, but you have to have some idea of what programming language is as a concept, because otherwise I couldn't do it. And I get the concept of how things are structured and everything, so I'm learning all these new constructs. What I hope to do with that is eventually go into my Stores Online template, which is so ugly. It's ugly because everything has been lined up like blocks. So when you put in a picture, it can't go past this point, it can't go past this point. There's this space. You can put pictures in the space, but it's all, there's no art to it. It's just very straight and which doesn't work so much for jewelry. It doesn't lend to a flow style. And there's just some things I want to fix, like on the navigation bar, I want to put navigation on the bottom as well as the top, which I can't do right now. And on the navigation, the tabs, none of the fonts are, they're not uniform. Some are, the words are bigger than others, and it just does not look professional. It doesn't look finished. So I'm learning some things that I may or may not be able to do with Stores Online. I don't know, because they have a lot of this stored on their servers, and I don't know if I can override that with what CSS is. Basically is I'm writing code to override what Stores Online has in their template, and I'm trying to get it to follow what I'm telling it instead of what they told it. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, that's about it for now. I will update later when I'm finished with the bracelet. God bless.